My mother leaves the house every Thursday at exactly 7 in the evening. She says she's going to book club, but the same book has been sitting on her nightstand for 6 months. She doesn't go to book club. She goes away so I can be Diana. My name is David Mitchell, and I'm 29 years old. I've been cross-dressing since I was 15, but my mother has never once mentioned it. Never asked questions. Never walked in on me. Never acknowledged that her son spends every Thursday night wearing her old dresses and dancing to music she can probably hear through the walls. For 14 years we've played this game. This careful dance where we both pretend I'm not becoming someone else the moment her car pulls out of the driveway. I moved back home 2 years ago after losing my job in Seattle. Thought it would be temporary, but temporary became permanent when my savings ran out and my mother got sick. Stage 3 breast cancer. She beat it, but the medical bills buried us both. So now I'm 29, living in my childhood bedroom and working at the grocery store where I bagged groceries in high school. Full circle in the worst possible way. Except for Thursdays. Thursday nights my mother announces she's going to book club. She puts on her coat and grabs her purse and says she'll be back by 10. Then she leaves and I have 3 hours to become the person I've been hiding my entire life. I know she knows. Of course she knows. Mothers always know. But we never talk about it. We dance around it like dancers avoiding each other on a crowded floor. She pretends not to notice when her makeup goes missing. I pretend not to see her checking the lipstick levels before she leaves on Thursday nights. It's been working fine for 2 years. This careful arrangement where we both get what we need without having to actually acknowledge what's happening. Until last Thursday when everything fell apart. I was getting ready as usual. Foundation and concealer already applied. The red wig I'd ordered online sitting on my dresser waiting to transform me. My mother had left 10 minutes early saying something about stopping for gas first. I was just putting on the black dress when I heard footsteps on the stairs. My heart stopped. She wasn't supposed to be back yet. Book club didn't end until 10 and it was barely 7:30. The bedroom door opened and there she stood. My mother. Staring at me in her old cocktail dress with my face half made up and the wig still sitting on the dresser. For 14 years I'd been terrified of this exact moment. The moment the pretending would stop and we'd have to face the truth neither of us wanted to acknowledge. Mom, I can explain. Don't. Her voice was sharp. Just don't. She turned and walked back downstairs. I heard her car start in the driveway. Heard her pull away faster than she should have in a residential neighborhood. I stood in my room wearing her dress and feeling like the worst person alive. She didn't come home at 10. Didn't come home at 11. By midnight, I was calling her phone every 5 minutes, getting voicemail each time. By 1 in the morning, I was sitting on the couch still wearing the dress because I was too scared to take it off. Like removing it would somehow make what happened even worse. She finally came home at 2. I heard her key in the lock and held my breath waiting for her to yell or cry or throw me out of the house I'd been mooching off for 2 years. Instead, she sat down next to me on the couch and didn't say anything for a long time. I went to see your father, she finally said. My father had been dead for 12 years. Died when I was 17 in a car accident that took him instantly and left our family shattered in ways that never quite healed. You went to the cemetery? I needed to talk to someone who would understand. Understand what? She looked at me then. Really looked at me. Why, I've been so afraid, she said quietly. The words hung between us like fog. My mother afraid? My strong, stubborn mother who beat cancer and raised me alone and never let anything break her? I don't understand. Your father used to cross-dress. The words came out flat and emotionless. Like she'd been practicing them. Every Sunday when you were at your grandmother's house, he would put on women's clothes and be someone else for a few hours. He called her Catherine. The world tilted sideways. My father? My father who taught me to throw a baseball and fix cars and be a man? You're lying. I wish I was. God, I wish I was lying. Her voice cracked. He kept it secret from everyone except me. Made me promise never to tell you. Said he didn't want you to think he was weak or strange or broken. But he wasn't any of those things. I know that now. But back then I was young and stupid and I thought it was something to be ashamed of. Something we had to hide. Tears were running down her face now. We fought about it constantly. He wanted to be open about Catherine. Wanted to live as her sometimes. I told him he was being selfish. That he needed to think about you and what people would say. My chest felt tight. Like I couldn't get enough air. The night he died, we had the worst fight we'd ever had. He said he couldn't keep living a lie. I said if he couldn't be the man I married, then maybe we should separate. She was crying hard now. Full body sobs that shook her shoulders. He left angry and got in that car, and I never saw him again. Mom. For 12 years I've blamed myself. Thought if I'd just accepted him, he'd still be alive. If I'd just let him be Catherine, sometimes he wouldn't have been so angry and distracted, and he wouldn't have run that red light. I reached for her hand, but she pulled away. Then you moved back home and I saw you sneaking my makeup. Saw you trying on clothes when you thought I was asleep. And I knew. God, I knew exactly what you were doing because I'd seen it before. Why didn't you say anything? Because I was terrified. Terrified that if I acknowledged it, the same thing would happen. That you'd leave angry one night and never come back. That I'd lose you the same way I lost him. So you started going to book club. I started giving you space to be whoever you needed to be. I thought if I just stayed out of your way, maybe you wouldn't feel trapped the way your father did. Maybe you'd be happy in a way he never got to be. We sat there in silence while her words settled over me like snow. My father had been like me. My strong masculine father had worn dresses and been someone else and hidden it from the world because he was afraid. And my mother had spent 12 years trying to protect me from making his mistakes. I don't want you to hide anymore, she said quietly. I don't want you to feel like you have to wait until I leave the house to be yourself. I don't want to lose another person I love because I was too scared to accept them. I'm not going anywhere, Mom. Promise me. Promise me you'll be honest about who you are, even if it's hard. Even if people don't understand. Promise me you won't spend your life hiding the way your father did. I looked down at the black dress I was wearing. My mother's dress. Maybe it had been my father's dress first. Maybe Catherine had worn it on quiet Sunday afternoons while I was at my grandmother's house learning to be the kind of man my father pretended to be. I promise, I said. She pulled something from her purse. A photograph I'd never seen before. My father wearing a blue sundress and smiling at the camera with pure joy on his face. This was Catherine. This was the person he'd hidden from everyone, including me. He would have been proud of you, my mother said. Proud that you're brave enough to be Diana, even when it's scary. He never got that chance. I stared at the photo and saw my own face looking back at me. Same eyes. Same smile. Same desperate need to be seen as we really were. Keep it, my mother said. And stop waiting for me to leave on Thursday nights. Diana can exist here anytime she wants. This is her home too. That was 5 months ago. Now Thursday nights are different. My mother doesn't leave anymore. Instead, she sits in the living room reading her book while Diana makes dinner in the kitchen. Sometimes she helps with my makeup. Sometimes we just exist in the same space being honest about who we are. She still hasn't finished that book. But she's not pretending to go to book club anymore either. We're both learning how to stop pretending. How to live with the truth instead of running from it. My father never got that chance. But Diana does. And so does my mother. Some secrets aren't meant to protect the people who keep them. They're meant to destroy them slowly until nothing real remains. We're done with secrets now. All of us.